Hey guys, Luther here from Luther's Woodworking. Today we are back in the shop. The year has just begun. Steve Good's come up with a lot of good projects since Christmas or before, the last couple of weeks. A lot of good ones. My first project for this year is going to be one of Steve Good's project. It's going to be the whole set of these Army men. Let me just show you what we got going on here. It's this whole set of Army men that he just did not too long ago. There's 13 different men. Now this right here is the original size that was printed out on his website. And let me see, the original size is, for the men, is about 4.5 inches tall for some of these Army men. What I did was I reduced it to 60%, and I made the smaller ones. These are about 2.5, 3 inches tall, a lot smaller, but it's not a choking hazard as far as for a little child. I will probably do some larger ones, but I just wanted to do a whole set of these small ones, and then obviously, if you do smaller ones, you do a smaller base on it, you know. So we're going to do a set of these smaller ones. There's 13 different ones in the set. I got all my pilot holes drilled. I'm going to drill these last couple ones. I'm going to show you, because you don't really need nothing fancy to drill these pilot holes. For years, I just used my drill press. This is just a Dremel put into a plunger adapter here. Very easy to use and put together. It's not a real expensive drill setup, just made for doing pilot holes. You don't need that. So I'll just do these couple holes just to show you how easy it is. All right, so yeah, using that Dremel tool is really easy to use. You don't need nothing fancy to put these pilot holes in. So with the pilot holes in, I got my blue tape on material here. I got clear packaging tape over the top. This is 1/4 inch material that I'm using for these. We're going to head over to the scroll saw, and we'll cut all the interior cuts out first, and then we'll cut the actual Army guy out after that. So let's head over to the scroll saw and start on this project. Okay, we are here at the scroll saw. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. Like I said, we're going to actually cut all the interior cuts out first on all these guys, and then we'll come back and cut the actual guy out. I'm using the number 3 modified geometry Pegasus blade, reverse tooth. So we'll start cutting these insides out here. Hopefully this won't take too long. I'm not going to speed this video up. We're going to keep it at regular speed. been just a little while since I actually been on my scroll saw, so I gotta get back into scroll sawing. You always want to cut the insides out first, because it just gives you a lot more to hang on to when you're doing these inside cuts. Set that aside. And like I said, I reduced these down to 60% of the size, the original size. You can reduce them down to any size you want, or you can just keep them the same size that Steve Good had them. Now also with this pattern that Steve Good had with these Army men, he had a tank and a Jeep that came with it. I'm not doing that. I'm just doing the men. I probably will do the tank and the Jeep at another time. This is not really a hard project to do. Few inside cuts, and then basically just cutting the outline of the Army guy. Fairly easy project. And if you don't feel comfortable cutting them out this small, you can just leave them the original size. I like doing my videos real time. Oops, because I think it's just a lot better having somebody watch you do it and see exactly how long it takes and what's all involved in cutting this stuff out on the scroll saw. I know when I first started scroll sawing, well, we didn't have YouTube and all that stuff, but if I watch somebody do a project on the scroll saw, I always like to watch them do it real time. Alright, so I think we are done with all the interior cuts. So we're going to start cutting out all these guys. When you cut across the bottom of the guy, if you don't get it exactly straight, you can always take the guy and sand on the bottom here to on the sander to get that nice and straight, because we're going to glue that onto a little base. So that's one guy right there. There. And also these little, making the guys little like this, you can use small scrap pieces that you got in your shop. You can use up a lot of your scrap pieces and get these little guys out. I don't know if I'd ever go any smaller than this, but this is a nice size to where you can use up a lot of scrap 1/4-inch wood. Put that guy over there. Goes pretty quick once you get going at it. Some of the guys are a little bit more difficult to cut out, but majority, the whole project is a pretty easy project to do. At the time that I'm doing this video right now, we have a major snowstorm going on right now, so I don't know if you heard my heater just kick in. But yeah, we got a lot of snow coming down right now. So I thought it would be a good time just to come in the shop here and work on this project. Hopefully you can see me cut this out pretty good, because I know sometimes people had mentioned that they can't see me cut it real well. I'm trying to keep my fingers away from the blade so you can actually see what I'm cutting. Okay, we are down to the last one here. done cutting out all these guys. I know it was kind of long, but that's just how long it takes to cut these out. Here's all the guys here. The next thing we're going to do, I'm going to take these over to the workbench. I'm going to take all the tape off of them. We're going to sand them up. And then we'll be back, because I'm going to end up, now on this bottom right here too, if this is not exactly straight, I'm just going to take this on my disc sander or my belt sander and just make this nice and straight so it sits up on the base nice, because it'll glue right to a base. So I'll do that. We'll sand everything all up nice and smooth, and then we'll be back to talk about the painting and all that other stuff that we're going to do with it. Alright guys, we are back here. I got all the tape off of it. I know I didn't put it on camera as far as me taking the tape off, because it's pretty self-explanatory. And then what I did was sanded all these parts. Now, if you remember in the other videos I put out, when you sand these small parts, I kind of have a way of doing it. I got a little board here. Now this is full of sandpaper here. Get off there. All right, so I got a board here with a piece of 220 sandpaper taped to it. And when you got small parts like this for a project, you can just take your you can just take your part right here and just take it across like this here and sand the one side, flip it, sand the other side, and then just do a little bit on the edges, soften things up on the edges, and then you got it. That way you're not trying to hold these little parts on a belt sander, catch your fingers and all that stuff. So that works really nice for sanding small parts. Not only these, but any project that you got. Just a piece of sandpaper. This is 220. I think I got one with a little rougher sandpaper on it. So once this wears out, where you don't want to use it no more, you can just take this off, put a new piece on. So that works nice for sanding the small parts. As far as the base goes, all these characters sit on a little base. All I did for that was I took a piece of 1/4-inch plywood, I cut it 1 inch wide, and then I just took each individual guy and just kind of marked it right here for the length, and then I just cut it off. Each one might be a little different. Like this one right here is a lot longer than, I think this is the longest one out there, but you're going to have to cut the base according to the size of the guy. Now obviously if you make these bigger, you're going to have bigger bases. Like I said, these are cut at 60%, so the bases are this size right here. So that's what I did with the base, just 1 inch wide, and just cut it to different lengths, whatever I needed for the guys. Now, as far as the paint goes, I'm going to paint these a different greens. Here's different green colors that we got here. I just use regular. Here's apple barrel paint that you can get at most craft stores and stuff. All kinds of folk art. Just all these little paints here in the 2-ounce containers. You could paint these a desert storm color. You could camouflage them. You could leave them natural. Just be creative. You can do anything you want with these here. If you got 2 little boys and you want to paint these, one set one color, one set the other color, that way they don't mix them up. They can have a little army war, and they know which guys are theirs. That's one way you can do it too. As far as the base, I think what I'm going to do with the base is I'm just going to stain it a gun stock or something. I think that'll look nice. You could leave it natural, or you could just paint it a green color too. So you could paint these basically any way you want to paint them up. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to paint these, and then we'll be back. We'll actually paint these, and then we will glue these to the base. Now, another thing on these bases, I made these bases just basically rectangle, square. Another idea on these bases, because you could actually, and I might do this on some of my other ones I make, you could actually take a base and make it kind of rounded like this here, whatever, and then have the guy on it. It doesn't have to be, I don't know if you can see that, but you can just do a base, any shape, really, and put a guy on it. It doesn't have to be a rectangle like this right here. I just made these. This was quick and easy to do it this way. But I might do some other ones with a different shape of a base. So there's a lot of different options you can do with these little guys. So I'm going to paint all these up. And actually, my wife's going to paint all these up because I don't do a lot of the painting. She's going to paint these all up. We'll be back with them all glued and finished. So we will see you when we got these all finished up. All right, guys, we are back. Got these all glued up and painted. I decided to go with gunstock stain on the base right here. I didn't really have the color of green that I wanted for these little guys, but they actually turned out pretty nice. I did try to camouflage some of them, but kind of didn't turn out the way I wanted. I will be doing a lot more of these in the future. So just to kind of go over, this is a Steve Good pattern, so go to his website. And then make sure you apply your blue tape to your plywood. These are made out of Baltic birch plywood. Apply your pattern, put your packaging tape over the top. Then once you cut you guys out, make sure after you cut you guys out, now I like cutting the interior cuts first when you cut them out, but then after you cut the guys out, go on your belt sander or your disc sander and square up the bottom of the little guy right here, because then it'll sit really nice on your base. Get that nice and square so you can glue them on there. Once you get them all glued on there, you can spray a sealer on them. I do use tight bond wood glue for all my projects for gluing. And like I said, the base does not have to be a rectangle base. You can do a different shape of a base if you like. So that's pretty much covers that. So that pretty much covers this video. Here's the guys right here, if you can see, all the little army guys. I will be making a bunch more of these guys here in the future. So until the next video, we will see you in the next video.